It's getting to that point in the season where Oxford fans are asking each other, have we seen three worse teams than us at this current moment in time? That's what we're asking Sam on Where Yellows Walk this week. We're also asking about refereeing standards. Are they dropping in the Championship, and what can be done to save them? And it's American election this week, so we're asking, are there any North American or South American imports that have improved Oxford United? That's for asking. Drop us a comment, drop us a subscribe. We'll see you on the other side of the title. All right, Sam, please reassure me straight off that you have seen three worse sides than Oxford this season.
I think we have. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that there isn't, other than I think the Sunderland game, Oxford have been in every single match we've played this season. We've been competitive. You know, if we look at Friday night, this against a side who are still in the top six, who have had 3 years of parachute payments, who have, they've had a lot of in and outs, but they've still got a really good side. You know, we are competing against these clubs. And I think that, you know, I've seen Cardiff. I don't think, obviously, we're still yet to play them, so that probably come back to bite me on behind. But Cardiff have looked shocking at times when I've watched them. Hull's kamikaze defending, I think, could really cause them issues. Obviously, if they keep their manager, I think absolutely there's more than three worse teams than Oxford United, but it is getting a little bit tight down there in the bottom half.
Yeah, Preston, Portsmouth, Plymouth, all of them, alliterative, so to speak, are all pretty pathetic at this current time. Get some social media takes from the game against Watford. I know it was some time ago, but I want to get your views on what Nathan said here. Nathan said it was a fantastic first half and very poor second half. Cumming was man of the match. Goodrum is brainless. Rodriguez is poor. Harris is not good enough for this level. Volks is the worst set piece taker I've ever seen, and injuries are messing us up. Is he 100% right there? Is there anything you want to disagree with Nathan on?
I think it's fair to say Nathan is a very I think pessimistic is the right word to say. Oxford United fan. You know, every time we see Nathan's tweets, they are very much on the negative side. Look, you know, if we go through them, kind of first half we were fantastic. If you look at the stats from the first half, it didn't appear to be kind of what the stats said. You know, we obviously the ball that Kyoto flashed across the face of goal that Dane Scarlett just misses. Couple of big opportunities, and you know, obviously Jamie doing wonders in goal. Second half, I think it was a case that Watford started better. I think probably their manager gave them a bit of a rocket up the behind, and you know, their goal obviously comes from a misplaced pass from Dane Scarlett. Goes up the other end. We spoke before with Malcolm Abue that it's not Dane's fault. There are many Oxford men in front of the ball. And, you know, you can't take away from Bayo for following up after he had his first shot saved by Jamie Cumming. And then, you know, both Sam Long and Cumming try and make the save on the second effort, goes in the back of the net and just ricochets off Jamie Cumming. I think it's fair to say that, you know, we were a bit lacking. That does come with the fact we were playing essentially a five at the back to try and keep us defensively solid. Goodrum, I really hope Goodrum gets a chance to play at the 10 when we get some wingers back after the international break, because he is missing that little bit extra in the wide spaces compared to a lot of the other wingers at this level. Rodriguez, I thought, was probably our best outfield player. Other than maybe Will Volks, he was constantly running his socks off with Ruben and kind of getting in Watford faces. And on set pieces, look, this is an area that Oxford United have never really focused on. If you look at our main set piece taker, that's Cameron Brannigan. He's got a similar record as converting free kicks as Cristiano Ronaldo. It's not something that we as a football club have very often made the most use of. You know, we've got the long throws a little bit with Kieran and Will, but it's much more, if you look at the history of Oxford United, it's much more something we've liked to, you know, play with the ball at feet, beautiful football, so to speak. That's always been our style and never been to really utilise set pieces to the fullest. Elliot
Moore, I thought, I mean, obviously because on Friday I managed to watch it. I I think he's just brilliant. Every time I've watched you, which obviously isn't as much as you guys, he's been outstanding. Is he Premier League quality?
I don't think he's Premier League quality. The thing that really goes against Elliot Moore is because he's got that lack of pace. He does get caught quite a lot. We've seen it a fair few times. We saw it against Bristol City. We saw it a few times against Watford. He's getting caught out in those areas, especially when he looks to play the ball out. He's getting caught high at the pitch, which means that opposition, especially speedy opposition attackers, are managing to get in behind. I think if he had that extra bit of pace, I think he'd be maybe a top half championship defender. I think it's very interesting. You see the lad that's been playing next to him in the past couple of games, obviously not recently. I think Ben Nelson is Elliot Moore with a bit more pace, because there's so many similarities between those two. But Ben Nelson has got that on his side, that he's a bit more two-footed and he's a bit quicker.
Okay. Little word on Harris. I think it's 2, maybe 3 games in a row now that he's missed some sort of sitter. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe his chance against Swansea wasn't exactly that. But is he lacking confidence?
I mean, this is a lad that's shot of confidence. I'm really hoping that he's gone away with the Wales squad, which I think will be really good for Mark, because what Mark, I think, as a person, that's something we often forget as football fans, that these are human beings at the end of the day. I think Mark really values a bit of loyalty and a bit of trust. We saw it with when Des kept playing game in, game out. He didn't score from August to January and then managed to finish the season with 19 goals. Hopefully, Sparky can go away with Wales, get a goal, get some confidence. We saw what happened with Dane Scarlett. Got that goal for the under-21s and has scored, I think it's 4 goals in 6 games or something like that for Oxford so far. Harris will always run his socks off. I also think to a certain extent there is a bit of being overcritical of Mark Harris. There was, the chance that he missed where Buckman rushes out and he could have chipped in and he goes to put it around him. That's poor. It's quite far out. And there's, I think, a Watford defender to his left, so he can't kind of cut inside and try and take it. There was a moment, I think, with maybe 10 minutes left where Kieran Brown has brought the ball forward and it's basically they've played it in between themselves, and it's then the second touch from Kieran Brown. It's bounced off his thigh, and Harris has been kind of slow to react. And there was a lot of criticism in that away end going, "Oh, Harris should get to that." Again, we're talking about a human being. Like, he's not, we're not looking at video game character. He's not able to instantly latch onto those kind of mistakes that are made by one of his teammates. I think at the moment, I think it is a case that Dane Scarlett's ahead of him. Depending on kind of how he's used. I think maybe Will Goodwin could argue to get a start of Mark Harris, but he just needs that confidence. Like I said, he didn't score from August till January of last campaign, and he finished the season with 19. So don't give up on Mark Harris.
Okay, good. Well said. We will certainly not on this channel anyway. The referee in the Watford game I thought was all right, but there's been a lot of call from other clubs that something needs to be done about the level of refereeing in the Championship at the moment. We know it's the whole EFL. We know it gets worse as you go down, but potentially teams' promotion and relegation will rest on some of these decisions being made. You've been on the wrong end of some shockers, I know, this season. What is your solution? We know it's bad, but what would you do if you were in charge of the refereeing board? Would you bring VAR in? Would you change the refereeing training program? Because it's not getting better.
Yeah, it's not obviously not just the EFL. It goes all the way down to the National League and all the way up to the Premier League. There is a serious problem with refereeing in this country. VAR is not the answer. We've seen that in the Premier League. Their implementation, I think the FA and the EFL, they'd be on the same boat in terms of the Premier League have been with implementation. We've seen in Europe and in Germany, their implementation of VAR is so much better. But it's the small basic stuff. Like, there will be very few grounds in this country where you cannot install goal line technology in the EFL. That is a must, because it's these simple calls that are costing teams goals. In terms of the actual officials themselves, there needs to be more investment in improving the training for referees. Obviously, there is a severe lack of people willing to become referees, because you have to start at the grassroots level, and you get, belters on a Sunday league game, and that drives people away. I'm not one that likes to kind of complain about referees, but I have noticed that maybe the Championship referees are worse than League One. I thought they were bad. It's not something that's a quick fix. There's so many kind of systemic failings with referees in this country.
Okay, let us know what you think as well. Somebody was saying, if you look at one of the Premier League games this season, or sorry, this weekend, you got the main referee, you've got an experienced referee as the fourth official, you've got two experienced referees on VAR. One is a main VAR, and one is a backup. There's three referees, experienced referees there that you could put on any Championship game. Why aren't we doing that? Thank you for that. Interesting points. It's been the American election this week, so there's a little bit of fun. We were asking ChatGPT and AI what are the three biggest influential imports on Oxford United from America, both North and South. It came back with no notable North American South American players managed to have made a significant impact on Oxford United's history. Can you beat AI?
I think there's three that immediately come to mind. I've probably missed quite a few. Actually, I can think of a fourth. So that fourth would be Van Anderson, who we had in 22-23, Suriname international. I think he was born in the Netherlands, but he was brought in. We thought, oh, this is going to be, a great attacking fullback to, be the complete opposite to Sam Long, and he was absolutely terrible. I don't even know where he is now. I think it might be still a free agent. One of them is, it's not kind of impactful in a good way, but it will always stick in Oxford fans' minds. That's Ramon Diaz. Obviously, a bit of a legendary coach in South American football. Viros Kassan brought him in, and by the end of his tenure was banning Ramon Diaz from getting into the stadium. Something that kind of, I'm sure a lot of clubs have got, oh, that would happen at our place too, but, it feels so uniquely Oxford United. I think it's Ricardinho, I think was that. He didn't make a massive impact, but he's a bit of a cult hero. And then the one that always springs to mind anytime there's kind of a big save he makes, or any kind of housery, we always say, that's our boy, and that's Emi Martinez. We'll always remember when the few games he played with us on loan, and he'll always have a special place in Oxford fans' hearts.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you very much, Sam. Can you beat that? I mean, Craig, that's good ball knowledge. That, mate, well done. Drop us a comment below. Next week, of course, we'll be talking about Middlesbrough at home. One fixture you didn't want to come probably around at this point. Join us next week. We'll discuss that one. Cheers for that.